And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Matthew 8:23-27.
Welcome to A Word Fitly Spoken, with Christian author and Bible teacher, Dana Rongione.
We all know the story of this great storm and how Jesus spoke peace to the winds and waves. We're also well acquainted with his rebuke to the disciples. But only recently, as I explored this concept of just a little, did I notice Jesus' exact wording. He didn't say the disciples didn't have any faith. He said they had a little, just a bit, enough to wake up Jesus believing he could help, but not so much to calm their terrified hearts. A little faith. But here's the thing. A little faith is all we need. Jesus said so himself. Check out this passage. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic, and sore vexed. For ofttimes he falleth into the fire, and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart, and said, Why could not we cast him out? And Jesus said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Matthew 17:14-20. In this instance, we see the disciples had no faith. Though they had healed the sick and cast out demons before, for some reason they didn't believe they could do it with this child. Maybe the situation was too scary. Perhaps they felt the need was too great. I don't know. But Jesus stated they were faithless and unbelieving. But notice what he tells them next. He informs them that if they had faith as small as a mustard seed, it would be enough to move mountains. Just a little faith can move mountains. Just a little faith makes all things possible. This is such a comfort for me to know right now amid so many uncertainties. My mind is clouded with questions. When will we see growth in our ministry here in Wales? How can we get people to come to church when they see no need for it? Where would our energies be best spent? When will I find time to write while also trying to grow a ministry from scratch? How? When? Where? Why? Oh, the questions. Yet through all the noise, I hear that still small voice whispering, Have faith, Dana. I'm working things out. And while my heart still races and my mind keeps swirling, there's a mustard-sized seed of confidence that brings me peace in the storm. I may not have the great faith I want to have, but even if I only have a little faith, that's enough to see these mountains of worry and stress fall away, just as happened with the father of this possessed child. We see more details of his story in Mark 9. And he asked his father, How long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, Of a child. And ofttimes it hath cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe. Help thou mine unbelief. Mark 9:21-24. What an emotional story. This heartbroken father pleads with Jesus to heal his son, but notice his wording. If you can do anything, help us. If you can. That doesn't sound like much faith, does it? But Jesus' response changes everything. I can do anything if you can believe. At which point the father cries out the prayer that spills from my lips day after day. Lord, I believe. Help thou mine unbelief. Do you know what that statement tells me? That father didn't have much faith, but he had just a little. And a little was all he needed. Jesus proved that when he healed the son. My friend, maybe you can relate to the disciples, the broken-hearted father, and this red-headed missionary writer. Perhaps today you're clinging to just a little bit of faith. If so, take heart. With that faith, you can move mountains. All is not lost. And the more we exercise that little bit, the more it will grow, just like our muscles. So hold that chin up high, face that storm, and cry out, Lord, I believe. Help thou mine unbelief.
You've been listening to A Word Fitly Spoken with Christian author and speaker, Dana Rongione. Dana is the author of over 20 books, inspiring and encouraging the old and young alike to find joy in serving Jesus. To find out more about Dana's ministry and to sign up for her devotional blog, visit danarongione.com.